It's a new day in the orange room. It's a new day in the orange. It's a new day in the orange room. It's a new day in the orange. Folks, Gregory Koch here and Dylan James Koch. I'm just going to share this with some people quick. That's what we do here in Orange Room. When we're in Orange Room, we share the activities. When we're in Orange Room. Oh, wait a minute. Can you dig it? Michael Burrell is in the house. He's our music friend. T-Bud Bray is in the house. He's our music friend. Adam Baum is in the house. Maddie K is in the house. Marky Mark, Tommy Lee, Tommy Lynn, they're music friends. Hear that? Song about music friends. Music friendship in the air. Music friendship everywhere. I'm going to share this. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Here we go. How's it look out there, folks? We move stuff around. Jeff Benson in the house. Jeff Benson in the house. We move things around. Folks, there is a 60-cycle hum in this room to beat the band. So I had to change where I was located. I've tried every fix in the world. Every fix in the world was tried. Either we have to run new power, and even, I don't think that, I've been recommended to get a Faraday cage, make my room a Faraday cage. So many activities. But I have to point either due south or due north. And so before I was facing west, and if I had single coil pickups, there's a problem. When I have my Fishman-Fluence Gristletime pickups, it's not a problem where I point. But when I have conventional single coil pickups, for instance, if Wildwood sends me a bunch of guitars, Fender Custom Shop, you know, you name it, regular traditional P90s and so on and so forth, it buzzes like a damn demon when I add some gain. So we had to figure out a solution. Kapoosh. We had to figure out a solution. Kapoosh, sassy cat. Mm-hmm. Woo! Can you dig it? I like it. Folks, can you hear everything? We had so many activities yesterday. Ryan Fitzsimmons is a champion of unparalleled proportion. I got up with the sun, actually before the sun rose, and I started taking things out of this room because we were on a quest to get rid of the damn buzz and figure out a vantage point that would look good and sound good. And about 10 hours later, plus I got a new computer because Dylan moved. So we had to transfer everything from his computer onto my new Mac. So Ryan was on this thing for a good couple hours. And then we had to get the cameras right and yada, yada, yada. So I hope you are enjoying the new perspective. There you have it. I am playing this Fender Acoustasonic Jazzmaster, which has Fishman electronics on board, which recently has been very helpful to me in a session I did down at True Fire for a solo guitar course. I wanted to have an acoustic sound, but I also had to be careful because I had stuff coming through the monitors, and it just came in very handy. It sounded great, played great, and there you have it. So I'm actually going out of this into a Spectrum Aura preamp, and then going out of there into the board. I'm also going out of there into this Fishman loud box, which you could probably see with this camera, this action cam.
You gotta go back to OBS.
Ryan, can I see the OBS? Oh, there we go. See, you can see the guitar. There is the Fishman amp right there. Boom. And that is going into SA 330X, which is behind me over here, so that Dylan can hear what's going on. I got a little extra in the room as well, so we can hear. And I like this 5 position on the toggle switch. I kind of tune it in a little bit with the tone pot to kind of go between the two sounds. Get a lot of beef. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Oh, can you dig it? Those kind of activities, oh, can you dig it? Getting used to the new rig here. Feels good. Used to having the comments in front of me. I got to go look off to the left to see the comments. And, yeah. Adam Baum says yes. Yes, Adam Baum. Yes, yes, Adam Baum. Thank you, folks. I like that, Matty K. Thank you, Patrick McManus. You understand us. Patrick McManus, he understands us. Thanks for always tuning in. We appreciate it. It'd get lonely out here in the interwebs without y'all. It'd get lonely out here in the internet. I would feel lonely and kind of upset. Wow. That's true. That's an instrumental version of a song from my Plays Well with Others record. Actually, Robin Ford played on that song with me on the Plays Well with Others. Dylan played drums on that one, or was it? I think that was Brandon on that song. Brandon Temple, Austin Strong, Brandon Temple, Austin Strong, Austin, Texas, Brandon Temple. He's a bad individual, knows how to play those drums like a proud individual. New camera, new view, but no new drums. We were just talking about a new drum kit, as a matter of fact. We shall see what Dylan comes up with. All right. Let's do a kind of a version of that Hey Godzilla song. That's always a fun one to play. It sounds good in acoustic as well. It's a little riff of mine. We'll do a little faster though, because we'll since we're doing an acoustic version of this song, we'll play it a little faster. Godzilla. Hey, Godzilla. Where you going? What are you doing? Causing a little trouble, I reckon. How we doing out there? You guys all right? Sorry, I got to look over this way now. This is where the screen of the chat is. Chris Brown says, hell yes, boys. Michael Burrell says, woo! Woo! Robert Escott in the house. Dylan is a bit animated this afternoon. That's because you can see him loud and proud. He doesn't have to worry about hitting things on the side of the wall. Hitting things on the side of the wall. That would Hey, Godzilla, leader of the Scary Horde, chairman of the Monster Board. You are correct, Michael Burrell. Those are the lyrics. Mike Slabowski, greetings to you. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to Peter in Ireland. I like it. Peter in Ireland. Dickie Betts lick at the end there for your listening and dining pleasure. There'll be a test next week. Forrest Richard Betts. Diddle diddle Forrest Richard Betts. Forrest Richard Betts. Forrest. His name was Forrest Richard Betts. That's a fact. They want to know what kind of drum set you're considering. Well, you know what? We got to replug in. We got to take this out.
Well, just tell them whatever is.
Yeah. You want to just say what you say it and I'll spray it.
Whatever's inexpensive and lit.
Whatever's inexpensive and lit.
I'm not one of you gear people.
He wants a Ludwig.
Yes, absolutely that.
Some kind of Ludwig. He's got the Bonham kit Ludwig, but it needs a little bit of repair.
Ludwigs are drums.
Ludwigs are drums.
Everything else is trying to be a Ludwig.
Wow. I don't even know what he just said. But that's going to be a problem with various other people. Yeah. Yes, get that Ludwig, says Chris Brown. They all sound good. They certainly do.
They do.
That is a bold, controversial statement. Tom wants to know, is that the same as dope when you say lit?
Lit is dope and dope is lit.
Lit is dope and dope is lit. Lit is dope and dope is lit. Lit is dope and dope and lit. Lit is dope and dope is lit. Lit is dope and dope is lit.
Dope is lit there, bud.
Yeah. My neighbor has a full 1960 Ludwig kit in sparkling silver. It's breathtaking, says Jackie. That sounds delicious.
I like the stainless steel 70s.
Oh, he likes the stainless steel Bonham kit. The stainless steel Bonham kit. Or the green one.
Yeah, green sparkle.
Or the Vistalite.
They were all slapping.
They were all slapping. He likes to say they slapped off the bone. That's a new one for you, too. Dylan says, that slaps off the bone. Good to know. Our high school had a great Ludwig set until it was unceremoniously stolen one day. Patrick, I can see it. You know what? People can occasionally be problematic. Felonious individuals. Felonious individuals. Felonious individuals. They're stealing stuff and they're doing crime. I don't like them none of the time. Felonious people doing stuff they shouldn't do. They're getting high, snorting that airplane glue. Felonious individuals. Felonious individuals. They can't keep them hands to themselves. They suck. Felonious. Not that I'm judging. Felonious individuals. There you have it. Testers was the best, yes. I was quite a model enthusiast when I was a kid, and I was making models all the time. And every time I'd go into the Kmart by my house to get some airplane glue, they gave me a look. Are you snorting that stuff? I go, what are you even talking about? I didn't even know that was a thing. I was so naturally weird and looking at world as a giant tapestry of psychedelia without any assistance from anything that I thought, what are you talking about? I'm going home to create a great B-24 Liberator with this delicious paste. What? Kmart did suck, but you know what? Back in the day, you could go in with $1 and go into that toy section and live large. Who's with me? And they also had they had the grill. You can go over there and get some delicious pudding for like nothing. And let's not forget about the ices. Kmart. It was right by my house. It was called a Kmart. For $1 you could have a lot of fun. You could go to the grill and get some pudding. You could get an icy too. And if you were too far from home, you could stop at the restroom and go poop. Thank you, Kmart. Thank you, Kmart. Thank you, Kmart. Wow. Blue Light Special. Let's not forget about the Blue Light. I had 2 sisters that worked at Kmart. Margaret and Ann both worked at the Mart. We called it the Mart. The Mart? I got to work at the Mart tonight. We knew what she was talking about. She was talking about the Kmart. And I remember when I was a kid. Let's start a little story time for the kids as we pause for the cause. Kmart did not sell guitars. Actually, I do remember they had some real cheapy guitars in the music department. And I remember going in the music. I remember buying a lot of records there. I bought my first record ever there, although mostly the records I have was from my brother. But first record I ever bought from Kmart was Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits, because my brother had Electric Ladyland, he had Axis Bold as Love, he had, not right away did he have Electric Ladyland, he got it he brought it home one day. I'll never forget, my brain exploded. He goes, guess what I brought home last night? Electric Ladyland. And then he played, wow, 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 wow. When I woke up listening to that activity, you know what, folks? I knew I was doomed to a life of rock and a life of roll. It was written in the scrolls. What? Anyway, what were we talking about? We were talking about Kmart, ladies and gentlemen. And I bought Smash Hits, doggone it, at Kmart. You could get a record for like just under $5, a regular record. A double live record was like $10. That was a little out of the price range of trade back in the day, but by doggone it, I would save up some loot and go into the Kmart, holding my head up high. This is in the 70s, folks. I was a wee lad, but I was hip to the jams young. Hip to the jams young. I knew I was destined to play sweet rock music forever. Not for a little while. I didn't come to it late. I didn't do sport. Well, I did some sports, but not much, because I knew the power of rock was calling me. Trade, come, drink from the sweet fountain of rock. And I said, yes, I will. Serve it up with that chalice. I'm going to gulp it down. And I did. That's what Dylan happened as well. How did we get to the Kmart, Tom? I walked there from my house in Sheraton Lawns. That was our neighborhood. You know you're in trouble when your neighborhood has a name. Sheraton Lawns. Nope. Brian says, tell me about that Reverend. Well, I certainly can, my good man. Let me put this guitar down for a moment, and I'll grab, oh, did you hear that? Our first accident here in New Setup Land. I'm gonna put this guitar right over there. You can't see it. What a magnificent situation. This Reverend is one of my signature Reverend Gristlemasters. It has Fishman-equipped Gristletone pickups on board. Comes that way from the factory. And this one's in a color that was out for a brief period of time called Axis Purple. I had different names, but they talked me away. Usually Penny and Ken from Reverend. They're always receptive to whatever my wacky names are, but I had a wacky name for the purple that they were not going with. I can't remember what it was. It may have had something to do with a circulatory complaint of some way, shape, or form. The grip purple or something. What do we got? Unplugged in? Oh, it just needed a moment to catch its sweet breath. It needed a moment to catch its sweet breath, and now it is back. Anyway, so it has my Fishman-equipped pickups on board. you will see, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. There's Gristlecam. Look at that. Has this little button down here, folks. That changes voices on the pickups. So we got. Press that button in. Just like that, it went kersplat. will I live stream the gym show? Unfortunately, that facility is not prepared to do a live stream. So as a result, I cannot do what need be done. But you know what? We'll probably do more of those shows. We've got those tunes worked up. We've been doing a lot of them on our live streams on Friday. Of course, we won't be doing a live stream this Friday because it's a holiday weekend. There's probably going to be a rerun. Ryan's going to do a rerun. Ryan's going to do a rerun. Ryan's going to do a rerun. Rerun! Can you dig it? Chris Brown says, what do I think of brass saddles and nuts? Are you picky with that stuff? Good question. You know, years ago, I remember someone reminded me of this. I was doing a Fender clinic back in the day. I used to do a lot of clinics for Fender, as opposed to Fender. Fender. Or I used to get my radio voice out and just go, Fender. What? Anyway, remember when the American Standard guitars came out? This is back in the 90s, right? It was 98. I went out and I did some clinics, and I had a red, delicious American Standard Strat that I used on those Stevie Ray Vaughan DVDs. As a matter of fact, I think I sold it to my buddy Steve Cohen, I believe. Does he still have that guitar? I wonder. I don't know. Wow. Thanks for going with me there. And then I had a Telecaster, I believe, as well. The Telecaster had a 6-saddle bridge. And so I was at a clinic somewhere, and somebody said, what do you think about the 6-saddle bridge versus the brass, the 3 brass barrel versus the stainless steel? And at that time, I think I was just fed up with the wine sniffers, the cork sniffers, going, blah, 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 blah. And I said, you know what? There isn't that much of a big difference, so I'd rather be in tune than have that little extra morsel of tone. Years later, Drade came to the opinion after playing many, many, many guitars at Wildwood Guitars, and I could hear the difference. But brass just gives you a little bit extra something, something. And they make my Wilkinson bridge like I have on here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do a little close up on that so we can see it. A close up on. I think it's there. There we go. There we go. It's there. This has the brass saddles, but they're also intonated. So you can intonate this Rasco as opposed to the old bridge saddles where you had to bend them in order to get them to adhere. This is a Wilkinson bridge with brass saddles. And the 3 brass saddles that you can intonate is kind of the best of all worlds, because then you can intonate it and still get a little extra bit of that twang factor from the brass. I'm not going to say it's going to ruin my day if I had a guitar without brass, but as long as you can have brass that can intonate, I say brass away. Kick my brass. If you know what I'm saying, kick it. John, it does kind of match my shirt, although this is more of a blue and this is definitely purple. Axe is purple. This is probably the guitar I'm going to use for the Hendrix thing because it's purple. You know, at first, I got my 74 Strat. Of course, even though I know, Jimmy died in 1970, his was a 69. Still, it does that thing, the big headstock Strat thing, which I'll probably still bring along to the gig. But we've been rehearsing all the stuff. I was going to do that guitar in E flat, and then I realized, you know what? I'm not going to try to Jimmify, even though I could. I thought, I'm going to do Jimmy the way I do Jimmy, and most of the stuff I can do right on this here guitar. I don't need a wah-wah pedal, even though I love playing wah-wah pedals, and I can wah the crap out of a wah-wah pedal. I got an Octavia. It sounds great. But there's something about just this guitar into this Koch amplifier back here. Somebody was complaining about that tape covering the moniker of the amp. That is a little annoying. Sorry about that. I'll have to rectify that. No pun intended with the amp. I have to rectify that. See what I'm saying? But I'm going to do the songs on this guitar. It's going to sound majestic, and it's going to scream like a banshee in heat, because I like to scream and holler. And the gold Gristletime is also a delicious morsel. I'm bringing that along as well. Unfortunately, we cannot stream the Hendrix gig, although I'm sure there's going to be people there with phones and they're going to do the do. So I'm sure some of it's going to first surface on the intergroup. I will tell you the set list, not in any order. I haven't made an order because I seldom do that. Although I take that back. I have been doing it kind of lately with the KMT, which is still very much in play. We're finishing up the latest KMT record, which we're going to celebrate the release of, hopefully by our New Year's Eve gig at Shank Hall here in beautiful Milwaukee. Here are some of the tunes that we're playing at the Hendrix Bacchanal. If you live in the Milwaukee area, or if you live close, drivable distance, Wednesday night, we start about 9 p.m. Doors are going to open at 7, I believe. And at the Anodyne Coffee Roastery, which is actually a very cool venue. And 3rd and Bruce in Milwaukee. And if you like Hendrix, if you like what I do, if you like guitar, if you like Dylan, if you like Matt Turner, I suggest that you come because it is definitely going to be a unique evening of musical activity and convivial interaction with human beings. Here's some of the songs we're doing. Castles Made of Sand, In Our Way. Message to Love from Band of Gypsies. Power of Soul from Band of Gypsies. The song Freedom, released posthumously on the Cry of Love record, although frequently performed in his 1970 Cry of Love tour from April to September 1970. Axis Bold as Love, the song itself. We segue into that into 1983, A Merman I Shall Be. Some people say merman. I like to say merman. Okay? The song Angel, also released on the Cry of Love record posthumously. Little Wing, we do a version of Little Wing that is quite delicious. We started conventionally and then we morph into these changes. I heard Eric Gales do a version where he added these gospel-y chords, and then I've kind of done a takeoff of that now. So that is that's fun. We're doing Come On, part 3? It's a song by Earl King, of course, but featured by James Hendrix on the Electric Ladyland release. We also do a pretty delicious version of Spanish Castle Magic off Axis Bold as Love. I've actually recorded 2 different versions of Spanish Castle. One on the Double the Gristle release back from recently released. It says 2021 on the thing, but it was actually released in 1996, just so we're clear. And there's a version of it that with Malford Milligan singing on a record I did called Live on the Radio, Volume 1. You can hear that song. We go into a little who knows towards the end. Also, we're doing our version of Machine Gun, Wind Cries Gristle, Little Red House, Crimson Domicile, as I like to call it. Hear My Train A-Comin', a little Voodoo Child In Our Way, and a little Killing Floor, and that should do it. So we're kind of purposely avoiding the songs you've heard a million times, and that's going to be it. And I think it's going to be fun. Doggone it. Oh, this tuner's being around. Oh, that's why that good tuner's on the other one. Room Full of Mirrors is a great song, although there's only so much we can learn. You know, when it's Dylan and I, we can go off on a tangent and not worry about a bass player following, but there's a lot of tricky Jimmy songs, very, very tricky with a lot of moves, and it's a pretty large commitment to learn just the tunes that we've got going, but because they're not easy. So it's going to be fun. So I'm hoping to avoid people going, play this, play that. I'm like, you're getting what you're getting. It's what's happening. Dylan wanted to play that riff. Sure enough, is a cool. Oh, thank you. That's Easy Rider is a good one too. That's a good one. Yes. Someone's asking why we spin the room. Someone's asking why we spin the room. Well, when I'm not doing my Fishman streams, I'm doing Wildwood streams. And a lot of times they send me a lot of Fender custom shop guitars, various different manufacturers that have single coil pickups in them. And unlike my Fishman pickups were impervious to RF, this is a very noisy room. So I found that the only directions that work when I've got regular single coils, I've tried everything, you could power conditioners, the whole 9 yards, nothing works. I've got to call into my electrician. He's not calling me back. So in the meantime, we had to do something so I could continue to do some videos with these single coil pickups without having the buzz of doom. So, which is a great advertisement for the Fishman-equipped pickups, if we're honest. So I can play this doggone guitar, or my Strat with the pickups in it, or my P90s and my Gristle 90, and I'm impervious to the 60 cycle hum. But those other guitars, I have to be faced either due north or due south, and so we had to figure out a way where we could fit Dylan in. So Dylan's actually out into the dining room a little bit, and then I'm still in Orange Room, and we're going to have to figure out where Matt's going to go, or Toby when he comes. So we'll figure that all out. But in the meantime, I got a new computer because Dylan's moved out, so we got to get his computer out of here. We had to get all that rewired and the whole 9 yards. So this is our maiden voyage with our new setup. John, these are my Fishman pickups in here. These are the Fishman-equipped Gristletone pickups. They come stock in this Reverend Gristletmaster guitar, or you can certainly buy them separately. They are noise canceling. They have 2 voices. They sound majestic. They are powered. You see that this little input jack here, there's a standard 1/4 inch input as well as a little mini USB. So you use your mini USB to charge up the lithium-ion battery, which is located in this compartment here. When you get the pickup separately, it comes with this control panel, of course, the pickups and the input jack. And for 300 hours, for an hour and a half charge, you get 300 hours of plugged-in playing time with the pickups. And the trade-off there is that they're impervious to the hum. They sound absolutely magnificent. And you got 2 voices, one that gives you a little more heat. So you got. There you go. Can you dig it? Let the gristle flow. Can you dig it? You got to let the gristle flow, ladies and gentlemen. Right down to your corns.
What other drum set do you need? These drums sound great.
Those drums do sound good. Those drums sound good. Those drums sound good. Those drums sound good. Michael asks a good question. He says, will Axis Purple become available again? That I don't know. I know that, what they have now available is going to be available for the, they're just trying to keep up with the demand of the current lineup, which is going well, I might say. Everyone seems to be very enthused and devouring the various SKUs. We've talked about some other colors that might be coming down the pike at some point. Coming down the pike, coming down the pike, coming down the pike, coming down the pike. Is the Koch amp coming in a head form? Yes. Well, as you can see over here, wait, there it is. That's the head of the Greg. It's supposed to be coming, but they are really having problems with the supply chain issues. So everything that we're going to do as far as the head and the cabinet, the little gristle, the Greg Jr., all of those things have kind of been backlogged for about a year now. So when they come, they come. What can I say? When they come, they come. You dig my blue jumpsuit. Thank you. You know, during the winter months, even though it's still fall, technically, it's cold as hell outside, folks. It's very, very cold and windy. And so we've decided to put on some longer sleeved activities. Jay Knutson says, I think that Dirt Spider Burst needs to make its way out of the Gristle 90. You know, you never know. That might just happen. the burst is glorious. Mark says, just got my Fluence pickups on my Strat and Telly. Absolutely magnificent, total game changers. Well worth the outlay. Excellent. Good to hear it. Glad to hear it. I concur heartily. It's 79 in California, says Cowhide Music. Well, good for you. Enjoy yourself in California. Only 5 months until it's warm again here in the up. Now, that's a fact. Am I right? Keith says, your amp is awesome. Thank you. I think it is as well. I enjoy it immensely. It does everything I want it to do. It does everything I want, except for move itself. Move yourself, amplifier. Wouldn't that be an awesome amplification device? It's just AI enough that you could just dial in, well, here's where the gig is, my friend. You're on your own. Zoop. Then it just shows up and sounds great. And then you could give it a question. Did you change your tubes? How low are your tubes getting? And it would go, this is not compute. Shut up, amp. Do as you're told. No, now we're getting off the rails. What? Well, listen, folks, I got to go. I'd love to fulfill all the different requests coming in and talk more, but we're running a little overtime. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. As always, as does Dylan back there on the drums. That's my son, Dylan. Again, if you live in the Milwaukee area, Wednesday night, we are doing a show at the Anodyne Coffee Roastery on 3rd and Bruce, and we're doing all Hendrix tunes. It's Dylan, myself, and Matt Turner on bass. Toby Lee Marshall, of course, from the Koch Marshall Trio, will be back with us towards the end of December. We're doing a show at Shank Hall on December 31st, which should be a CD release party. Is like that's a thing anymore. I'm just going to try to have CDs available then of our new one. We do, of course, have the From the Upna and Toby Arrives, but this will be KMT3, okay? That's what I think I'm going to call it, KMT3, okay? Boom, pop, pish. Don't forget, of course, about the podcast. It is a Fishman and Wild Guitars sponsored affair. It's called Chewing the Gristle, me having extemporaneous conversations with various musical professionals, and usually quite interesting. And Guy King was last week. I believe Vernon Reed from Living Colour was the week before that. I think Brian Ray from Paul McCartney's band, that one is coming up soon. Pete Thorns is probably coming up very soon as well. So tune into that. Some good combos. They last about an hour. Sometimes they go a little longer depending on our schedules and whatnot. There you have it. And of course, my new TrueFire course is available. Gristleman Guitar. You can get that at through my website, actually. If you go through my website and then click on the link to go to TrueFire, I get a little extra taste of the action, which is always appreciated, especially at this time of year, ladies and gentlemen. So thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you to our friends at Fishman. Don't be afraid to check out other various glorious wares. I was playing that Fender Acoustasonic earlier, which is filled with a Fishman electronics. I was playing it through a Fishman Spectrum Aura preamp and going through a Fishman Loudbox Performer. And actually, we're hearing in the room, we're hearing the vocals and the guitar a little extra through a Line Array SA330X 2-channel mixer or powered speaker. You can also augment it with extra 4 channels if you want. There's a subwoofer as well. But right now, we're just using the 2 channels, and it sounds glorious. 330 watts. Hello. Come on. All right, folks, have a good one. We appreciate it. Have a good one.